What's up, everybody? Scott from Sounds Good Stereo. We just wanted to make a short video for you today, nothing too crazy. Got Project Huracán all wrapped up. I wanted to give you guys one final walkthrough on it, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, we're going to show you some of the stuff that we do with this Lamborghini here and in a bunch of these other cars. But DJ's getting our amp board finished up. He's got it in the car and just going through a couple little last touches, if you would. But another important part of these builds that we go through is some more of the electrical nightmare that we go through is figuring out some of these circuits for all the lighting and accessories that we do in these. So we actually build some pretty complicated circuits to do some of the lighting and accessories on these. We do we wanted to walk you through it. So some of it's very simplistic, some of it's a little more complicated, but again, it makes the vehicle definitely one-off and definitely personalized to our clients. So, but let's go ahead and show you some of this. We talked about the fuse panel that we do in here and the way we isolate the circuits for all the accessories. It does get tucked down in that kick panel like we had talked about. So let's turn it on here. So basically what we have, actually let me grab a light to show you guys. So we built a switch panel, and this switch panel houses 8 switches and a volt gauge, just so he can monitor the system. But so let's see. So here's our switch panel. Let's see if we can get in here. So here's the switch panel we built. Again, it's got the volt gauge and the switches. So real quick rundown on the switches. Let's show you some of how we do these. So first switch, we do some underdash lighting. So we did some blue lights. Client's favorite color is blue, so by request we go ahead and do the blue lighting in here for him. Beyond that, we have some enclosure lighting. So we see back here. So sub enclosure's all lit up nice. Just cool little touches here. So that's some of the more simple stuff. Let's see what else we got. So this is actually super cool. This is a completely hand-done fiber optic headliner that we did in this car. We do this in a lot of his vehicles. This one was actually a little more complicated for the simple fact that if you guys are familiar and have ever worked on a Lamborghini, you'll know that there is no headliner card to come out of this car. So this is a completely fabricated headliner card. My wife actually does these headliners. She hand pokes every one of these fibers. So we order raw rolls of fiber. She does the whatever design she wants up there, and this one she did kind of like this swirl constellation, if you would. And then we just route the fiber through the car, and there's a light engine that we put in here that controls everything. It's completely RGB and just really, really cool. So definitely probably one of the only Lamborghinis you'll see with a fiber optic headliner. What else we got? So that's some of our inside lighting here. On the outside of the vehicle, let's see, I should go shut a light off so we can see this stuff. It's pretty cool. All right. So on the outside of the vehicle, bear with me here. Shut the other one off. All right. So full RGB underbody kit. We wrap the whole vehicle in undercar lighting there. Then we have rock lights that we do. We do a series of rock lights from the retrofit source. They have some really, really nice stuff available. So we do the wheel wells. again, just to get some accent on the wheel and tire packages that he does on these. He does do, so these are just factory wheels on here currently, but he does some really, really nice aftermarket wheels on these typically. So we get all that. Let's come back here and check out the rest. So this is actually really cool. Show you guys this. So we also do on these vehicles, he did this on a vehicle for safety concerns, and then he actually expanded it through his fleet, which I thought was really, really cool. So we do a series of undercar lights that we actually tie into the turn signals for the vehicle. So like this is the left blinker right now, so we have the whole left side of the car lights up for turn signal on this side. Okay. Then we go right turn signal. And again, we get the whole right side of the car lit up, amber. See if we can show you some more of this here. This one might be a little tough, but. So brake switch, whole undercar lights up red, so all the way around. And then, it's got to be running here, but. So when the car is running, reverse lights the whole undercar up white. So, another really cool feature, and this one might get you. So, this switch here, we have factory horn, then we have train horn, which is definitely a necessity if you're driving a Lamborghini. So that was pretty cool. It's just a really cool little add-on. So, and then let's show you this last one we got here. The last one is definitely one of the more complicated features we did in here. This is the stuff that I like to geek out on, but kind of go through it with you. Let's get some lights back on. It was a project, but you know, working with the right partners and stuff, we were able to get this pulled off for the client. It's a combination of parts that we did on here, but really, really cool stuff. Actually, we might not be able to show you because we have the front trunk open real quick. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take a second and get this front closed, and then we'll show you the last feature here, so bear with us. All right, thank you. That was a quick intermission. So at the client's request, the other cool thing that we did on this car was we did a full security and remote start system. It's not one of your more common vehicles to do a remote start on. There are very few people. Actually, there's one guy that has parts for this system, and he was wonderful to work with. Thanks, shout out to Clay over there, 12-volt solutions. What we did with this vehicle is the remote start we have can work from the factory key fob, right? So, and this is pretty traditional, right? So we hit the lock button 3 times. So then it's going to go through its remote start sequence. And from the factory fob, that's awesome, right? But you know, for this client, because he's done so many vehicles, he's got the same systems on every vehicle, right? So Clay has some awesome RF kits, which are like your key fobs you can add to the system, the long range remotes, and he's got some telematic stuff, which is your phone control. But for this client, that just wasn't going to be what he needed. He wanted to do some Viper systems on there that he does on his other vehicles. And then he also has a smart start that he monitors a fleet of vehicles with. So what we were able to do is, working with Clay, we actually got a Viper system to integrate through some complexity, but we got it to integrate with the other security systems. So with this, we have full aftermarket security, controlling the factory alarm. We have the door handles work with the arm and disarm, which is just like OEM. It has the 2-stage unlock, so it's driver door first and passenger door on the second push. We're able to keep the front pop and a bunch of the other accessories. I mean, so again, this is a completely integrated system. Definitely one of the more complex things we did on here, because we did have to do
security system was kind of analog. Then we had to get it to work with Clay's parts. And I mean, those guys were just great through that whole process. So again, big shout out to those guys. But really, really cool system on here. You know, it's taking the time and doing these. It just, you know, it broadens your palette, right? So it's like, I mean, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have assumed we do a security and remote start system on this Lamborghini, but it's just where you come to, you know, you get the time and you measure the vehicles. Again, you work with the right partners and you end up with a really, really cool final product, you know. So hopefully the client will be thrilled with that. But meeting requests for our clients is kind of the name of the game, you know, so we take a lot of pride in that. So again, so we wanted to take you around, kind of show you some of the wiring in these things is probably more than the stereo systems themselves, right? So it's all the accessories we add up in there. It just takes quite a bit of time, and cabling these so the circuits are isolated and they're still dealer serviceable without any confusion of the integration and stuff. It's a lot, you know. And these exotics, it's a little more difficult because it's not just a Jeep Wrangler. You can't find parts available for days, right? You have to go in there, measure some circuits, and make some magic happen, you know, and that's what we're good at here at Sounds Good. So we're going to wrap this one up. Again, we wanted to take you through these, kind of show you some of the cool stuff we did on here, and hopefully we'll be getting this thing delivered pretty soon. So we'll have this video coming out, and we got DJ killed this amp rack, and I'm just super proud of my team, man. So we got a really good thing going here, and we appreciate all the support from you guys on our social media channels. And don't forget to grab that subscribe button, notification bell, notifications turned on, and keep running this gauntlet with us, man. We're having a lot of fun, so we'll see you on the next one.